So this is what Panini does. They do things different, better than anybody. Maybe if somebody wants to open theirs up, and then I can look and see what it looks like.
I think Todd should have to open his up because
I want to keep mine in mint condition.
I don't know.
I mean,
Listen, $85 for a trading card set, and Target's shelves are empty within hours. Panini's entire website crashes from pre-orders flooding in. That's the reality when you slap Caitlin Clark's name on anything these days, even during the dead of winter when she hasn't touched a basketball in months. Dan Patrick cracks open one of these collections on live TV, and his first reaction isn't to dive in and check out the cards. It's to keep that box sealed because he knows it's going to be valuable. That moment right there shows you exactly where we stand with the Clark phenomenon in December. But what makes this whole release really stand out is the timing.
no, it's meant to be opened, looked at, but I'm going to keep mine wrapped.
Right now, the WNBA is staring down a potential work stoppage. Players are pushing hard for better compensation and threatening to boycott the entire 2025 season if ownership doesn't meet their demands. Yet somehow, the biggest sports story breaking through to mainstream coverage this week has nothing to do with contract negotiations or revenue splits. Instead, it's about one player's trading card collection generating more excitement than most teams get all season long.
So this is it right here. So he goes on to talk.
Practice safe card collecting.
That's smart. All right. Smart.
Okay.
Wait, how much time is left?
What are your thoughts on her form here at the, you might as well critique it while we're doing it.
Doug Gottlieb's the one that said that she needs to
It's not
change.
great. It's not great.
That is an awesome form.
Wait, I need to step away from this because there's about to be a pie in my face coming my way.
Introduced the 2025 Caitlin Clark 100 card set, including 50 Caitlin Clark WNBA and 10 Caitlin Clark lifestyles, featuring 4 cards per pack, 8 packs per unit, for a total of 32 cards. Looking for the exclusive green halo, the green laser parallels. Look for autographs and the ultra rare color blast. Insert one exclusive keepsake highlighting the career of Caitlin Clark. They definitely own their job with getting Caitlin Clark pretty much back in the headlines, bruh. So this is it here, y'all. This is it. This is the cover here. That's hard. 32 trading cards, autographs. My thing is, how many of these will be available? Like, is it a limited supply of these? Like how they going about this? I don't know. It's just very interesting.
Check out what Panini actually packed into this thing. 32 total cards spread across 8 packs with 4 cards each. 50 different shots of Clark in her fever jersey, plus 10 lifestyle images showing her away from the court. They've got autographed versions with those ultra-rare color blast variants that collectors go crazy for. They even threw in her Time magazine cover, the one that basically crowned her the queen of women's basketball before she'd played a single pro game. This isn't some standard rookie card treatment. Panini is marketing a second-year WNBA player like she's already achieved LeBron or Curry status, complete with that crossover mainstream appeal, and the market response proves they read the room perfectly. Nobody blinked at that $85 price tag. The limited quantities created exactly the kind of frenzy they wanted. Now you've got sports memorabilia hunters who couldn't name 3 other WNBA players fighting to get sealed boxes because they recognize a solid investment opportunity.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy John the Liquidator coming back with another video, and it looked like Caitlin Clark has broken the internet yet again. Guys, for this one here, we got to go all the way up to Indy. Let's get it. Let's go. Man, I hope everybody's having a great holiday week. Man, I know I've been away the last couple of days, man, getting ready for the holidays. I kind of chill out around this time of the year. Those of you guys who kind of been following the channel for a while know around the holidays, I like to spend time with family and just kind of take it a little easy, man. But we got to talk about this. So Caitlin Clark has broken the internet.
Sophie Cunningham just voiced what probably half the league thinks, but won't admit publicly. She's the face of this league, period. Who else would it be? Sabrina? Not even close. Then Cunningham takes it further, calling anyone who claims the WNBA would be in the same position without Clark dumb as hell. Those were her actual words, coming from someone who went head-to-head against Clark, who watched her team lose to the Fever in the playoffs, who has every motivation to minimize her influence. This debate has been tearing through WNBA circles since spring. On one side, you've got the numbers people pointing to TV ratings, arena attendance, jersey sales, and social engagement. Every single measurement of fan interest shows massive jumps tied directly to Clark's presence. Indiana averaged 1.2 million viewers for their nationally broadcast games this past season. Vegas came in second at 620,000. That's not a small gap we're talking about. That's nearly doubling the next best team. But then you have the longtime supporters who've been riding with this league for decades. They watched Diana Taurasi dominate for years. They celebrated every Candace Parker championship. They supported this league when it wasn't cool or trendy. To them all, this Clark hype feels disrespectful to the players who laid the groundwork she's building on. And honestly, they're not wrong about that history. But Cunningham isn't talking about the past. She's talking about right now in December.
And that is this drop right here. So it says 2025 Panini Caitlin Clark Chronicle keepsake pre-orders. So this is something that is coming out. So Dan Patrick actually spoke about this and kind of broke it all down what this Panini thing is. And he's pretty much saying that people should buy it and not open it. Now, I don't know if I'm going to get this or not, but I just thought this was pretty darn interesting. So this is what took place on Dan Patrick's show about an hour ago.
Panini timed this release perfectly. Clark has been completely off the grid for weeks now. She hasn't shown up to any Iowa games. No media appearances or interviews. According to what we're hearing, she's probably back in Indianapolis, grinding through training, keeping her head down during the holidays while these contract negotiations play out without her name dominating every conversation. That's actually brilliant strategy because there's been tons of speculation that Clark might be pulling strings in this strike situation behind the scenes. She's got more leverage than anyone else in the league right now. If she came out publicly backing the players sitting out next season, that would put massive pressures on the owners. But if she broke ranks and said she's playing no matter what, that would completely undermine the union's bargaining power. So she's stayed completely quiet, which is probably exactly what her representation told her to do. But Panini doesn't care about labor disputes. They care about what sells, and they just bud that Clark can move premium products in December during the absolute deadest part of the WNBA calendar, while she's not even making public appearances. That's the kind of star power that goes way beyond just being good at basketball.
Fingers down.
Yeah, when
Gotta put it in
when Doug said that her form
not great.
needs to change her shot.
It's never gonna work at the next level.
All I know is that shot's going in.
That's right.
Yep. So shout out to Dan Patrick for giving us a breakdown of this Caitlin Clark collection that has been released by Panini. So this is what is in the insider there. It says pre-order Panini Caitlin Clark Chronicle. So as you guys can see here, it says 32 trading cards. Wow. It's Caitlin Clark in the Indiana Fever All-Star game. I believe her Time magazine stuff is in there. Sold out at Target. Said it's sold out at Target. So this is $82.
Doug Gottlieb criticized her shooting mechanics, and Dan Patrick's crew immediately called him out on it. Look at the form they captured on this card. 2 fingers pointing down, textbook follow-through, and the obvious comeback that the shot's going in, which is really the only argument that matters. This has been the exact same pattern with Clark criticism from day one. Someone with credentials questioned some technical aspect of her game. Her college release point was too low. Her shooting form made her vulnerable against taller defenders. She'd get overwhelmed by WNBA physicality. She couldn't run an offense against elite professional defenses. Every single one of those predictions fell flat. She finished runner-up for MVP as a rookie. She shattered the single-season assist record. She took a Fever team that went 13-27 the year before and dragged them into playoff contention. So when Panini features her shooting form on premium trading cards, they're not worried about Gottlieb's technical breakdowns. They're betting on actual results. And those results show that whatever mechanical issues might exist in her shot don't matter when she's draining step-back threes from the logo and finishing the season at 34% from deep on massive volume. The results speak for themselves.
This is Sophie Cunningham speaking on Caitlin Clark. Let's roll it.
And it literally like pisses me off when people are like, she's not the face of the league.
Who would be?
What?
Sabrina? No.
No, there's really good, well-known people in our league. I'm not discrediting them. Like, we have a lot of badasses in our league.
Yeah.
Like, hell yeah to that. I'm all for that. But when people try to argue that she's not the face of our league,
Yeah.
or if our league would be where we're at without her, you're dumb as shit.
Yeah.
You're literally dumb as fuck. And it literally like pisses me off when people are like, she's not the face of the
So
league.
that's Sophie Cunningham, man. Speaking about Caitlin Clark being the face of the league. Want to know you guys' thoughts down in the comment section right now. Happy holidays to everybody. Try to put out some content later today and throughout the week. Probably chill out as we get closer to Christmas, though, y'all. So might just go down to maybe 1 or 2 videos a day, if that, when it get close to Christmas. But I just want to thank you guys for one hell of a year here on the channel. I was kind of in a funk, I ain't gonna lie, because we didn't hit 100K this year. I'm not buying subscribers or views. That's not my cup of tea. But I just wanted to really hit 100K. It really bothered me that we didn't, but we gonna roll on, man. We gonna add a bunch of new stuff to the channel in 2026, and we just gonna keep the WNBA train rolling, man. But I want to know y'all thoughts down in the comment section right now. Keep them bills on.
What this card collection really represents is Panini betting that Clark's marketability only grows from here, not peaks and declines. They're gambling that 5 years down the road, a sealed 2025 Chronicle box trades for way more than $85, because her legend will have expanded even further. And they're not making that same bet on other WNBA stars, even the ones with championship rings and MVP hardware. A'ja Wilson captured back-to-back MVPs in 2023 and 2024. She led Vegas to consecutive titles. By almost every advanced metric, she's the best player in the league right now. But Panini isn't dropping a 100-card A'ja Wilson collection with premium packaging and lifestyle photography. They're not betting collectors will treat her cards like blue-chip investments. Breanna Stewart signed the fattest contract in WNBA history when she moved to New York. She's a 2-time champion, 2-time Finals MVP, 2-time League MVP. Her resume is absolutely stacked, but her cards aren't selling out at Target. Her name doesn't drive the same search traffic. Her social media numbers don't compare. Sabrina Ionescu gets mentioned in these conversations too. She's got the New York market advantage, the Nike deal, that 3-point contest victory over Steph Curry. She's incredibly skilled and marketable. But when Panini had to pick which player to build their premium collection around, they went with Clark. That choice was driven by cold, hard data, not feeling. This content creator mentioned being frustrated about not reaching 100,000 subscribers yet. He's not buying fake views or subscribers, so his growth is completely organic, built entirely on people actively choosing to watch WNBA coverage. And the only reason his channel grew at all this year is because Caitlin Clark gave him storylines that casual sports fans actually wanted to follow. That's the current reality for WNBA content. The algorithm pushes Clark content because viewers click on it, watch it completely through, and engage heavily in comments. Videos about other players simply don't perform the same way. It's not some conspiracy or media bias, it's audience behavior reflecting genuine interest levels. This creates a tricky situation for the league. Obviously, you want to capitalize on star power that's generating unprecedented mainstream attention. But you also don't want your entire league identity wrapped around one player, especially when that player is white in a league that's 70% black. That tension is absolutely real, and it's not disappearing anytime soon. Sophie Cunningham's point is that pretending this reality doesn't exist helps nobody. Acting like Caitlin Clark isn't the primary engine driving the WNBA's current mainstream relevance doesn't make other players more famous. It just makes these conversations dishonest. And dishonest conversations never lead to productive solutions. The question isn't whether Clark represents the face of this league. This Panini collection release settles that debate completely. The real question is what the league does with that reality moving forward. Do they construct a sustainable model that leverages her star power to elevate other players? Do they create compelling storylines and rivalries that give fans reasons to care about games she's not involved on? Do they develop marketing approaches that acknowledge her unique appeal while still showcasing the incredible talent depth across the entire league? Because here's what happens if they can't figure this out. Eventually, Caitlin Clark retires. Maybe that's a decade from now, maybe 15 years. And if the WNBA hasn't built a foundation of fans who care about the league beyond one individual player, all this momentum evaporates. Television ratings crash back to previous levels, attendance numbers drop off, merchandise sales collapse, and the next generation of players inherits a league that had its breakthrough moment but couldn't maintain it. Those are the real stakes of this entire conversation. It's not about whether Sophie Cunningham is correct that Clark is the face of the league. Obviously she is. The Panini collection proves it. The sold-out Target inventory proves it. Dan Patrick dedicating show segments to trading cards proves it. What matters now is whether WNBA leadership, the players' union, team ownership, and media covering the league can have honest discussions about turning this moment into sustained long-term growth. The collective bargaining negotiations are part of this bigger picture. Players are demanding higher salaries, better travel accommodations, enhanced maternity benefits, and larger revenue shares. Those are completely legitimate requests, backed by the reality that league revenue is actually growing. But that revenue growth stems largely from one player's impact on television ratings and attendance figures. So how do you structure an agreement that compensates everyone fairly while acknowledging that market value isn't distributed equally across all players? League expansion plans factor into this conversation too. The WNBA is bringing teams to San Francisco and Toronto, with additional cities under consideration. Those expansion franchises will draft players from current roster. Will fans in these new markets show up if Caitlin Clark isn't on the schedule? Will they purchase jerseys and merchandise for players they've never heard of? Or does the league need to guarantee that every market gets several high-profile games featuring the players who actually drive ticket sales? Media rights negotiations are another piece of this puzzle. The current television contract expires after next season. The WNBA is working on new deals with networks, and the figures being discussed are substantially higher than the previous agreement. But those networks are banking on continued viewership growth. If Caitlin Clark suffers an injury or fan interest drops for any reason, suddenly those projections look much less reliable. The league has to prove it can sustain audience engagement beyond one player's individual magnetism. So when you watch an $85 trading card collection disappear from shelves in hours, you're witnessing more than just market demand for sports collectibles. You're seeing concrete evidence of where the WNBA stands at the conclusion of year 2 of the Caitlin Clark era. She absolutely is the face of this league. Sophie Cunningham nailed that assessment. Anyone arguing otherwise is completely ignoring measurable reality. The critical question is whether the league can construct something lasting around that truth, or whether this moment becomes a warning story about relying too heavily on one superstar. The Panini collection will definitely hold value 5 years from now. That's practically guaranteed. Whether the WNBA as an institution is worth more 5 years from now depends entirely on choices being made right now during these contract negotiations, expansion talks, and media rights discussion. And those decisions have to be rooted in complete honesty about what's actually fueling the league's current success.